Hi. We've reached over 70,000 subscribers on this channel, the Anne Boleyn Files and Tudor Society channel. And of course, that means it's time for me to subject Tim to another Tudor history quiz.
And I enjoy them so very much.
Yes, well, you can't blame me for this one.
Why can't I blame you for this one?
Well, one, because these were your idea in the first place.
Okay, I suppose that's true.
And two, these questions aren't mine. These questions are from channel members, those lovely, kind people who support the channel financially every month.
That's very kind of them, thank you.
A big thank you to them, and a big thank you to all the subscribers as well. It's so lovely to think that 70,000 people around the world have pressed subscribe and tune in to this channel on a regular basis. So that's wonderful. Thank you. So, shall I go ahead with some questions? And you're not to take a sneaky look at the answers.
No, I won't take a look at the answers. I won't know the answers even if I did anyway.
Okay. So, question 1 is from Lisa. Which pope did Henry VIII ask for his marriage to Catherine of Aragon to be annulled?
That's a really good question.
This pope said no.
Yes.
And that caused the great matter, which was pretty important.
It's the perfect pub quiz question, because it's one of those things that you think you know, and then actually when it comes down to it, you haven't got a clue.
Of course, the English Reformation and lots of knock-on effects.
I am going to go for Pope Pius.
Well, I'd have to ask you which Pope Pius, wouldn't I, really?
Pope Pius. Well, how many Pope Piuses can there be?
It's not right.
Oh, it's not right.
No.
Okay, well, I don't know then.
Do I give the answer now?
Yes, I think you give the answer now.
Can't remember what I do. The answer is Pope Clement VII.
Okay.
So,
well, there you go. I wouldn't have got that one.
0 for that one. Okay, question 2 is from Julie. Edward VI was betrothed to Mary, Queen of Scots. They were both
when they were
very
small.
little.
Yeah.
Okay. By which treaty or treaties in 1543?
Now, that's a very difficult question, because that's very specific.
And it's named after, it's the place.
The Treaty of... No idea.
Give you a clue. Just being so nice to you.
Okay.
The clue is it was a royal palace.
Okay, a royal palace in London, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that narrows it down.
Yes.
Of Greenwich.
Yes.
Ooh. Do I get half a mark for that, because you had to give me a clue?
Yes. It's the treaty or treaties of Greenwich.
Okay.
Treaties plural. So I'm giving you half a point.
Well, that's worth having.
Okay.
If it's only half I'll get.
Question 3 is from Ella. Can you name all of Catherine Parr's husbands?
Oh.
There are 4 of them, so there's potential 4 points here. You can definitely name one of them.
Well, I suspect Henry VIII was one of them.
Okay, so that's 1 point.
Ooh. I think she was probably married to a Seymour.
She was.
Edward Seymour. No?
No.
No?
No. No.
Was she also married to a Howard?
No.
No. Okay. Then that's probably the end of my guesses.
So you just get 1 point for Henry VIII. So she was first married, her first husband was Edward Burgh. Then she married John Neville, who was Baron Latimer of Snape Castle. He was her second husband. Third husband, Henry VIII. And fourth husband was Thomas Seymour.
Thomas Seymour.
First Baron Seymour of Sudeley.
The wrong one.
You picked the wrong brother. Yes. Oh dear. Okay. Question 4 is from Katie. Can you name the 3 queens in the Tudor period who were executed in the month of February?
I guess I probably can try.
You can try.
No, it's not Anne Boleyn.
Potential 3 points.
It's not Anne Boleyn, because she was executed in May. So Catherine Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Queen of Scots.
Yes. Wow, we're doing well here.
And, well, she wasn't strictly a Tudor
No, I said
Queen?
queens in the Tudor period.
Okay.
Because obviously she was executed in England in
Okay.
Elizabeth I's reign.
Okay, well, yeah. When it was my guess, it was right, so I'm taking that point because I need that point.
Well, think of another queen who was executed.
Well, divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. So I've done those two.
Yeah, except Anne Boleyn wasn't.
And Anne Boleyn wasn't one of them.
That
So no,
help
I don't
you.
have
So
another
it wasn't
person.
Another of Henry's
It wasn't
wives.
one of Henry's wives. Another was executed. Well, Mary wasn't, and Elizabeth wasn't.
No.
No, I have no other idea.
Queen Jane. Lady Jane Grey.
Oh, Jane Grey. How could I forget her?
So how many points did you get for that one? You got 2. Okay.
Good question.
Question 5 is
Very
from
good question.
Kathryn. In which year was Anne Boleyn executed? And for a bonus point, what date?
This is a great question. I'm not going to jump in and answer it immediately so that you can think about it at home. Can you go to answer these as we're going along?
And you really should know this.
And I really, really should know this. The 19th of May, 1536.
Well done. 2 points.
Yay.
Question 6 is from Julie. Which was part of the War of the Rough Wooing in 1547? The Battle of Pinkie, the Battle of Winkel, or the Battle of Towie?
They're great answers. Thank you for those. That's a great question.
This might have helped him somewhat.
That did help me. Because, well, there are so many battles around all of that period, and they all have fantastic names. The Battle of Pinkie.
The Battle of Pinkie. Well done. So that's a point.
Yeah.
Question 7 is from Katie. Which Tudor queen was taken hostage during the Pilgrimage of Grace Rebellion?
Wow. That's a really good question. Taken hostage.
She wasn't queen at the time.
No, the mother of Henry VII, wife of Henry VII.
Elizabeth of York.
Elizabeth of York.
Well, the Pilgrimage of Grace Rebellion was in 1536.
It was well after that.
Elizabeth of York had been dead quite a long time by then.
Well, then I guess we're going to go for Mary Queen of Scots again, because she's the answer to all questions that you don't know the answer to.
Oh, dear.
No?
0.
No.
Catherine Parr.
Was she taken hostage?
Yes.
I didn't know
She
that.
wasn't queen at the time. She was married to John Neville, Baron Latimer.
Wow.
And her stepchildren, his 2 children, were taken hostage because the rebels wanted his support, wanted him to join the rebel cause. So they forced him by taking his wife and children hostage.
Very good
question. So that was 0. Question 8 is from Laurie. Can you name a Tudor person who was executed after being found guilty by Act of Attainder rather than by trial? Now, there's quite a few to choose from here. I can't really, I'm not going to run through all of them, but I'm going to give
Tudor
you...
Queen? A Tudor...
No, Tudor person. Just someone from the Tudor period. And it was Henry VIII who really enjoyed using Acts of Attainder.
Well, I think Catherine Howard was.
Yes. So I will give you a point. I'm only giving 1 point for that.
Yeah.
You don't have to come up with any others.
But some other examples
But some other examples would be, well, there's Catherine's lady, Jane Boleyn, was also in the same Act of Attainder, found guilty and condemned to death. You've got Thomas Cromwell as well. That's another famous example. I think Margaret Pole was as well.
Okay.
So yes. So I will give you a point for that one.
Nice way to get things done quickly and without any arguments.
Yes, without any bother of a trial. You know, who needs a trial when you could just pressure Parliament to get rid of them? Yes. Okay, question 9 is from Elizabeth. Which 2 men were arrested and imprisoned in the Tower of London during the fall of Anne Boleyn, but luckily, fortunately for them, subsequently released?
That's another really good question, because it's one of those ones that you think you should know. And then when it comes down to
something that I talk about every May.
Yes, you do. So Francis Bryan?
No. He was questioned, but he was never arrested.
He wasn't arrested?
No, he was called to London for questioning.
No, that's the end of my guesses on that one.
My historical crush is one of them. I didn't know I had a historical crush.
I didn't know this. You learn things new every day. Go on, tell me.
Sir Thomas Wyatt the Elder.
Oh, okay.
And Richard Page.
That was a good question, but
that was worth
an easy
2
question.
points, but you got 0.
So say the answers again.
Sir Thomas Wyatt the Elder,
okay.
the poet and diplomat,
Poet,
and Richard Page.
Okay.
So, question 10 is from Dorothy. Which 14th century English king was King Henry VII descended from? So this is a king who ruled England in the 1300s.
Now, I really should know this, since I'm busy editing Gareth Russell's A History of the English Monarchy audiobook. But I don't actually think I've come quite that far forward in time.
Oh dear.
Which is probably quite annoying, because that would be dead useful at this moment. Was he related to King John of Gaunt? No, John.
Oh, you're right. He descended from John of Gaunt, but John of Gaunt wasn't king. He was prince. He was Duke of Lancaster. His father
was Edward the Confessor. I love this.
I'm not giving you an answer.
You're not giving me even half a point for that.
Edward III.
Edward III.
And John of Gaunt, Duke of Lancaster, was his 4th son, 3rd surviving son.
Okay.
And his mistress was Catherine Swynford.
So that's the right line of the family.
They later got married, and their children, Margaret Beaufort, descended from John of Gaunt, and of course Margaret Beaufort was the mother of Henry VII.
Okay.
So there you go.
Well, there we go.
Okay, so Edward III. So no points.
But I was on the right family line.
Question 11, final question, is from Julie. Which Tudor monarch created the Yeoman of the Guard?
Oh, that's a great question.
So the King's Bodyguard, the Yeoman of the Guard.
And it was a Tudor monarch?
It was a Tudor monarch.
Because you just assume that they've been around since the Tower of London was
kings have had
built, that the guards have always been around. I suppose, like all things, they have to have been created at some point. What a great question. I'm going to go the Yeoman.
This is specifically Yeoman of the Guard.
I'm going to actually go for Elizabeth I.
No, Henry VII. Following Bosworth, but when he first became king.
All right.
The royal bodyguard became the Yeoman of the Guard.
Okay.
So there you go. So
didn't get a point for that.
You didn't get a point for that. So out of, I think, 18 possible points,
not many.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5.
Ooh, well, that's all right.
I think people are going to say no. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5.
That's good. I'm actually very pleased with that.
7.5 out of 18. So I'd love to know how you did.
Oh, yes.
Whether you beat Tim.
I'm sure you can.
So please do share your answers.
And then I have another video that we're going to make after this one, because I've got questions to ask you. Because it can't just be you asking me questions.
Well, yes, when it was your idea.
No. So after this, watch out for coming soon. Part 2, which is when I ask Claire some questions. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much. See you
Good
soon.
luck. Bye.